Told you we're on your way, ma'am. DS Tom Anderson. I've ordered emergency lighting and a scene tent. Can't see any tire marks, but we've established a common approach path that I think avoids the most likely entry-exit routes used by the victim and/or the offender.
It was you who thought of my missing person?
Yes, ma'am.
What state of undress is she in?
She's dressed.
Tom Anderson?
Yes, ma'am.
We can now go live to the scene to hear from the police officer in charge.
We can confirm that the body of a white woman in her late 20s, early 30s was found earlier today by a young couple out walking. We can offer no more information until the remains have been identified. That's all I can say right now, thank you.
If it's not Rose Stagg, why was Superintendent Gibson here earlier?
That's all I can say right now, thank you.
Tom Anderson, ma'am. Well, I thought you should know we've identified the victim from her prints. Marina McPherson. String of drug convictions. Strong indication she took her own life. Phone records show a number of phone calls to a suicide helpline over the last 6 months or so. Yeah, there's a letter to her mother, more or less a suicide note.
What did she say?
I know you were home, Mum. You must have heard me calling you. Why didn't you answer the door? I know I've been bad, but I'm still your daughter. If you'd answered the door to me, who knows? But now it's too late.
Can't find my place in life. It's killing me inside. You there, Mum?
Yes, I'm here.
Paul Spector. Detective Sergeant Anderson. I'm arresting you for the unlawful imprisonment of Rose Stagg. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defense if you do not mention when questioned something you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand? You understand that you're under caution. I should also remind you that you have a right to free and independent legal advice, and that you can talk to a solicitor on the telephone if you so wish. That light indicates the interview is being monitored. You have been arrested because we believe that on the night of Thursday, May the 3rd, you abducted Rose Veronica Stagg from her home. We also believe that you have unlawfully imprisoned Rose Stagg, that you're holding her somewhere against her will. You may know Rose Stagg better as Rose McGill. Your wife has been arrested. Your home is being searched. Katie Benedetto has been arrested. The hotel room you were staying in is being searched. Things could get out of control for you very quickly, Paul. Are you sure you don't want to speak? I want you to listen carefully to what I'm about to say, Paul. I'm now going to ask you to account for a fact. The reason I'm asking you to do this is because I believe this fact shows that you are responsible for the abduction and unlawful imprisonment of Rose Stagg. I must warn you that a record is being made of this interview and may be given in evidence if you're brought to trial. And that the court may draw proper inference from your silence if you fail or refuse to account for the fact about which you are being questioned. Do you understand? I'm asking you to account for the presence on your phone, the phone found in your possession at the time of your arrest, of a number of video files featuring the image of Rose Stagg and the sound of her voice and images of you. What is your explanation for those files being found on your phone? Want to see me?
I thought that Katie's diaries were a complete fabrication with her alibis for Spectre and schoolgirl fantasy. And this shows up on our phone.
She's a juvenile. And if sex is the issue, would it not be more appropriate if she spoke to a person of the same gender?
Yes, probably. Also easier for her, which is why I want you to go in first. Whatever she says, just keep listening.
You see that light that's just come on?
Yes?
That's to indicate the interview's being monitored. Tell me how you first came to meet Paul Spector. Tell me now, Katie, in your own words. I want to hear it from you.
I write and record songs. We started talking about music. He listens mainly to blues music. I wrote a song for him. I played it to him one night in his study. That was the first time we kissed. It was a gentle kiss at first.
This is when you were 14. You know Paul Spector can go to prison for the things you're saying. You love each other. Why did you take this picture?
For fun.
Why are you wearing that t-shirt?
Also for fun.
That's the fit of the killer. Did you have the t-shirt made yourself?
Yes,
Why?
because it looks a bit like Paul.
Because it is Paul. Why were you in Spector's hotel room?
I was just waiting for him. Waiting for him to come back.
Did he ask you to go there?
Yes.
Why? What were you burning in the sink?
I was bored. I was just burning things.
Things.
Yes.
Did he ask you to destroy evidence?
There's some additional tapes you should see. It's all more complex than I thought.
You obviously know he's the killer. So, why continue to insist he was with you on these dates when he was only with you on this date? The night Joe Brawley was killed, and then only after he'd fled the scene. Katie, there's a great deal of evidence already to tie Paul Spector to the crimes of which he stands accused. Your lies are futile. Why ruin your life? We are going to press charges, Katie. You will go to jail for what you're doing. Aiding and abetting a murderer. You're 16. That's right. You kick against authority. Your mother. Me. But there are other ways of expressing your dissatisfaction. I've heard your songs. You're very talented. If you wanted to pursue music in later life, a criminal record could stop you from traveling to the US, for example. Many other professions would be closed to you. I'm not allowed to show you the crime scene pictures that I have here, but you should have some idea of the kind of man you say you love. That you're protecting. Fiona Gallagher's neck was compressed by the sheer force with which the ligature was tied, to the point that it measured just over 9 inches in circumference. Imagine that. The anger and the hatred of women that would allow someone to do something like that. I'm finished. It'll be a matter of routine police work, checking your phone, your internet records, CCTV, witness statements, to destroy the alibis you've created. All that remains now is for you to be charged. So, before we finish the interview, is there anything that you would like to add, clarify, or explain?
You're right.
You said a strange thing when you first asked me to interview Katie Benedetto. You suggested I was like Spectre. What do you mean by that?
Similar looks.
Not anything more. Something deeper. Deeper in his nature that you see reflected in me somehow.
So, you remind me of Spectre. Is that where this is going?
That's the thought. Would it be so odd? There's something fascinating about him. Strange allure.
A woman, I forget who, when she asked a group of women why women felt threatened by men. I need to take this. Gibson? Go on.
Beyond where Rose's phone was last used. Up beyond the quarry, beyond the lair.
Excuse me, sorry. We're on. We have to be discreet about moving him out of here. Anderson to escort Spectre with me in one vehicle. 2 other cars, Farrington and her partner. Get Jed Green to meet us in the forest with TSGs and a medical backup. We'll need a helicopter in the air.
What about Spectre's court appearance?
Change it.
Okay. I'll get the transport organized.
Isn't it just another power play? Another attempt to control and dominate?
Yes, but we don't have a choice.
Even if it's a wild goose chase?
You know what I've asked you to do, just get on with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Another half-mile. In there.
You tell me what I'm gonna find.
In there. 200 yards or so.
There's no sign of Rose.
Tell her to keep going. Go deeper, Stella.
Prison says to keep going, Mom.
There's clearly something going on between you.
What?
You and the fragrant Stella.
Is that right?
Let me give you some advice. If you haven't done it yet, don't. I've tasted both the fantasy and the deed. The fantasy is way more piquant.
They don't know this.